Exactly.
And we're live. Hey, today is a fantastic day to be alive. Let me just tell you, the adrenaline is pumping. And you know what? Life happens. And we want to know, are you prepared?
Yes. And today is a very good way to go into that subject matter, considering what just happened to me. Because life does happen. Life does happen. Hello, everyone. It's Vickie. I'm mobile and remote, doing this on the go. On the go. Hi, Marianne.
Hi. So give me just a second here, and I'm going to pull up what we're going to be talking about today, and then we'll get to why Vicky's in her car. All right, so today we're talking about, life happens, and we could actually use another word for that. And are you prepared? So we want to talk about having a checklist for the unexpected, because that's what happens to us. And we want to be prepared for our golden years. They call them the golden years for a reason. Let's get prepared for that. And let's protect our biggest assets, whatever those might be. And for some of us, it's different things. We are Americans, and we definitely are diverse. So let's talk about what happened to you today that was unexpected.
Very unexpected. Very unexpected. I had an appointment today, and I was going to do the appointment, do the show from the appointment, and at the last minute she made a change, decided that she didn't want to do it. So I said, okay, we'll just continue on and go to the next step. En route to my next step, a guy, I think it was a guy, but it was a white uh, vehicle, SUV, just pulled out in front of me on 610. Did not care who was coming, on the lane he pulled into, which was me. Pulled out in front of me, just cut me off, and I had to I slammed on my brakes. I just praised the Lord that I did not hit him. We were inches from him. So basically, my car went into a almost like I looked like it was in a movie. And my car went into a slide parallel, you know, and turned and ended up on the shoulder of the highway. I'm just this. Just, I'm still trying to get over it. I'm still a little shaky, trying to get over that. But life happens. You have to be prepared for anything to happen. And luckily, I did not hit him. No one was injured. But I just think about what if what if I did what if there was a collision? What if things didn't go the way they did? Yes, God intervened on this particular thing, but what would have happened? What it you just never know. So we all have to be prepared for those what ifs, for the unexpected. One of the biggest ways to prepare for the unexpected is to make sure you're always protecting yourself in every way possible. And I mean, when I say every way possible, the best way to protect yourself, of course, is to having some type of insurance. Reason we get car insurance is for things that happened to me today. This was like, so if that there if I had hit him, I'm insured in my car. I don't know if he would have been, but I am, and that would have helped me through a little bit as far as if there was a collision and I had to get my car prepared. But we have to take that type of mentality and thought process in everything that we do, preparing for the unexpected, because we just never know. We just really, really never know. So when you're preparing for the unexpected, you should always have a list of things that you want to protect. Just like you have a list when we go through hurricane season, we always have a list of things we should get, batteries.
I live by my checklist, let me tell you. My checklist of things I need to do, like I had to get my car inspected because, yes, that's required, right?
Right.
I have a great infinity for checklists. So we can have one for our health, and we can have one for our daily life.
Right.
cars are just a big one. Now, I will tell you that for me, I was on my way to pick up a cupcake for a friend's
Oh,
birthday.
okay.
And I had flip flops on, and there was mud in the driveway, and down I went.
Ah,
That and it broke my arm. Now that
ah,
was totally unexpected. Thank
yes.
goodness for insurance when things like that happen.
Well, that's what insurance is for. I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, we're gambling on the fact that we're going to have something happening in our
Oh
life
yeah,
that's unexpected.
nobody wants to be a gambler.
No, no, but I mean, that's what insurance is to cover those high bets. Those high bets in life. We just don't know. So you need to, you have a checklist of everything you need to protect, whether it be your car, whether it be your house. But the number one, and I look at it, the number one asset is you. So you always want to protect yourself. Which means you're protecting your family as well, your loved ones. So, what does that mean? That means life insurance, disability insurance, things, because you never know, you might, just like you fell, and you you work, if you were working at a job or something like that, you might have fallen and not been able to work. So what would have happened in that situation? So a broken a hip or whatever, that will take you out. Those type of accidents can take you out. So what do you have in place to protect your health, protect loss of income, those type of things. Everybody should have a checklist of of the unexpected. To be able to protect yourself with the unexpected. When we're um, preparing for the golden years, I mean that's a list as well. I mean that's a different list, but you always should have a checklist about the unexpected and what you need to have to protect yourself. We just health insurance, of course, check. Most people know you really need health insurance. You know, even though some people, you could be young and think that, oh, you don't have any health problems or anything like that. You really need to make sure you have some type of health coverage. That means making sure you are in a position to be covered. Right now, and health insurance is always going to be a hot topic in this country. Okay, um, the open enrollment for people who are 65 or over or on disability is going on right now. I think we talked about that last week. Annual enrollment period for Medicare beneficiaries. However, November 1st is right around the corner, and that's for those who are 65 and under to enroll in health insurance. Basically, if you don't have health insurance, you're under 65, please do something and get it. Okay, please do, because you definitely want to have coverage if something should happen. You just never know. You could fall, like Mary. You said you tripped. Anything could happen
I
when we're.
slipped on some mud.
Yeah. See.
There was nothing preventing me. There was no rocks. There's no up. It was just just trying to get into my car,
Right.
and I slipped on some mud. Don't wear flip flops anywhere near mud.
Right. That's not a good
Okay.
thing. That's not a good
No,
thing.
I will
That's not a
never.
good thing.
I've got PTSD now. When it rains, I'm like, is there any mud on? Oh, don't wear any flip flops. Oh no.
Well, I mean that with the advent of COVID, I think everybody should be on their guard. We didn't expect this. No one expected us to be in this situation in this world right now. Very unexpected. Nobody expected like a pandemic right now. This came, even though it didn't really come out of the blue, but it basically spread like crazy, like wildfire, and here we are. We're still dealing with this. And just it's a
Never
way.
in my wildest dreams did I ever expect us to have a pandemic. Okay.
Nobody.
No,
No.
like, you've heard of the Black Plague, and,
Yep.
but that was like, eons ago. Okay. That wouldn't
Exactly.
happen now. right?
Well, we're thinking it's not going to happen to us. That's the whole thing, is that we have a mindset
Right,
that it's not going to happen to us, and we can't have
right,
that mindset. And I think life is showing us you can't have that mindset that it's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to us. Okay, so
right,
that's why having a checklist of the knowing, having a checklist for the unexpected. If I don't want to put people in a panic zone, but there are certain things that we just don't know are going to happen. But we can put them in categories. Um, Death, health, loss of income. These are things that we, if you put them in those categories, uh, you can basically list off things under those categories as far as how am I going to protect myself because of this. Health. My health. In other words, if something should happen, I get a virus, or I get sick, or I need to make sure that I have health insurance so I can get covered and get some health coverage so I can go see a doctor, or if I fall I can go to the hospital. If those type of things, it's a check off, health insurance, unexpected illness. Okay. So that's a category. Another category is that loss of life. That's a that's a category of unexpected. It might happen. Somebody get into an accident like I did today, and it's a fatality. We don't know. Or your child could become ill. You don't know. Those that's basically under category of unexpected as well. Do you have enough coverage for life loss? Do you have life insurance? Whether it be enough to cover for burial, funeral services, or even more. If you want to leave a legacy to your children when you're gone, to pay debt. In other words, you have debt and you don't want to leave that to your family members or whatever. Do you have enough life insurance to cover those type of unexpected, situations where there's loss of life? you know Disability. If you have an accident and you are no longer to work, yes, there is social security disability or whatever, but is that going to be enough to cover the way that you live your life right now? Is that going to be enough to continue being able to pay the bills, raise a family, and things like that? So these are all types of unexpected events that you need to basically write a checklist on. It's like, am I covered? Is this covered in my life? Have I basically covered uh, these types of categories of unexpected losses? Because life happens. It just
yes.
life happens. We can't
Life
avoid
happens.
that. Yep, we can't avoid it. So that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. Just a reminder, or no, or just people to make sure you're uh, thinking about those type of things. Okay. Let's see. And the one of the things that I said about protecting your biggest asset, I do believe that your biggest asset is you. So make sure you protect yourself for in any way you possibly can, and that's with life insurance. Make sure you are covered in, like, you have enough life insurance. Most people will have something for funeral services or burial services, things like that. However, you want to make sure that you don't leave your family in a lurch with a lot of debt. So have enough life insurance to cover your debt, especially if you're young, you're at an age where, you have a mortgage. Most people have some type of life insurance if they own, paying a mortgage on a home or something like that. But there are other, you should make sure you have enough life insurance to cover when you're gone, and to get your family back on their feet, to pay your debt off and just leave something for your family to be able to move on. So protect your family or protect yourself. That's, I know sometimes life insurance is a Uh, People don't want to think about it because it's kind of a morbid subject matter, but it's life.
Well,
it's
let me tell you
it's
a story
life.
about my family. My mother kind of knew, what was going on. She had emphysema
Hmm.
and a smoker all her life.
Okay.
And she knew that it was coming. Her
Hmm.
husband, my father, passed away, and she
Hmm.
really did not want to burden her children with all the problems that come along with that. So, and the cost. So
Right.
she made arrangements with her insurance agent to make sure that everything was taken care of. Like literally, we had to make one phone call and
Okay.
everything was taken care of. And I won't go into details because it is kind of sad and morbid.
Yeah.
However, we didn't have to worry about anything. She took care of everything.
My mother did the same thing. It's interesting in that the generations before us, that was something that they always make sure that they took care of. You know, making sure they're not going to burden their family. For whatever reason, we've got out of that mentality of making sure that we protect ourselves and protect our family. And so
Yeah.
people need to get back to that mindset. You know, of of our parents and our grandparents, and that they always basically got life insurance to make sure that they didn't leave debt. All their, for funeral services or whatever, all that was covered. Because my mom, she was adamant about making sure that she didn't want to leave us in a lurch at all. So it was all taken care of. One of the things that I always said is that mom took care of us in life and she took care of us in death. And we all should always look at, that. That's my thought process, is that we should always look at that as a way of life to make sure we're protecting ourselves and protecting our loved ones. So, because as we say, life happens. You just never know. We're not in control of any of this. God is. But it just life happens, and we need to basically be prepared for the unexpected. We protect the car, and it's like accidents, house, things like that. Protect your most valuable asset, which is yourself, which is yourself. So now moving on to the last topic, um, getting prepared for our golden years. Many people don't think about that until they're like 5 years away from golden years. That's not the time to think about it, really. You should really think about it a little earlier. you know, I know we all get busy in our lives, especially we have families, kids, and things like that. But when the best time to start thinking about preparing for our golden years and retirement and everything like that is when we're not such a high risk to basically start putting money away in different retirement tools. So um, my advice is to always sit down with a financial planner to review and look at what do you want to, when you retire, where do you want to live, you know what's the lifestyle that you want to be able to continue, do, what are the things that you want to be able to do when you do retire. If you have those bucket lists, do you want to basically be able to afford to complete your bucket list. Say you, once you retire, you just want to travel across the country, or when we get to a point where you can. uh, I truly believe that eventually we'll get back to some sort of normal, and we'll get back to traveling and things like that. But if that's something that you want to do when you retire, you need to plan on that. So you really
Let me
start.
ask you something, Vicki, about that because I think
Okay.
a lot of people don't seek out professionals for financial planning
Mm,
because they feel they don't have enough money and that they won't want to talk to them. Now, I know this because I've had this conversation with several people that I thought would really benefit, like my daughter. She works for the state of Michigan and she's got 5 children. Not all hers. Her
mhm,
boyfriend has 3 and she has 2. And they're almost paycheck to paycheck type of existence. And I said, but now's the time. even though you feel like you don't have enough money, now's the time to talk to a financial advisor so that you can come up with a plan.
Exactly. The thing is that a lot of people have that mentality is that they don't make enough money to sit down with a financial planner
Right.
to go through that. But that's not true because if you don't do anything but put $5, $10 away and you continue doing that forever, and you talk to a financial planner to find out what's the best tool to put that $5 or $10 away. You want to know what the right tool is. So you one of the things you want to do is make sure you find the right financial planner because some people have that mentality because there are some financial planners out there that might have a mindset, well, you don't make enough money from me. But not all think that way. It's just like, there are some that they have a certain level, so to speak, of clients they want to have. But not all financial planners are like that. And if you don't do anything but get a consultation from a financial planner to could tell you, okay, these are the different financial or retirement tools that you can use, and you can basically go out and do your own research and uh, have a list of different retirement tools, mechanisms, different annuities, different, IRLs and things like that. But sit down and talk to someone about it, someone that is educated in that particular field, because you really want to start right, it, the earlier the better. I would say the earlier the better. But don't wait until you're like 50, 60 years old to start looking into retirement, because what builds wealth is time. Okay, time basically is going to, that's, time build, you have to have time to build your wealth or to build the financial uh, destiny that you have for retirement. So if you wait till late, you're not going to have enough time to build that. So the earlier the better. If when you're in your 20s, you're not, most people in their 20s are not making a lot of money. But if you start small, and as you get older, you start your salary is going to increase, or the money that you're making is going to increase. So you just start putting more away, you know. But find the right tool to do so. There are a lot of different financial tools for retirement that you can use to build your wealth for retirement. Um, the other thing about not only just putting away money and planning for retirement as far as financial is start thinking about when you get to that point, the things that you need to get rid of. It's like, you want to, when you retire, one of the things that you don't want to have is a lot of debt. So when you are in your, they say, mid 40s or whatever, you usually really start, cutting back on debt. It's basically, think about things before you buy them that's going to be a high end item that you're going to be paying on for 20 or 30 years. Yes, mortgages fall into that category, but you have to think about what your debt is going to be when you retire. You don't want any. You really want to cut back on your debt, not have any when you get to that point of retirement, because what, you're going to be on a fixed income. No matter what that income is, you're still going to be on a fixed income. So it's always better to have, low debt, so you can basically enjoy life and not have some debt hanging over your head. And golden years are supposed to be golden years where you can go out and enjoy and do the things that you have always wanted to do, and not you're not working anymore, you're just enjoying your life. So but so when you're looking at your golden years, start planning early. That's my message. There is basically to plan early. I would say, like I said, the earliest the better. But I prime time to really start looking at is around 35, between 35 and 40 years old. You should have a plan in place. You really should have a plan in place. If you don't, you need to sit down,
Do
find the
you have
finance.
a button where I can push and go back?
I wish I had a magic wand for everybody in that situation to say, abracadabra, let's go back in time.
Yeah, let's go buy some Microsoft stock,
Exactly, exactly. Let's
30
go back
years
in time.
ago.
Back in time where we can invest in the right, products and things like that. Yes, I wish we could go back and not have the when we had the tech crash or the
Oh
oil
yeah,
crash,
that's
and
right.
things like that. Oh, and that takes us back to the unexpected.
Oh yeah. Oh
The
yeah.
unexpected. And if some people who were caught up in those financial crashes of tech, the tech stock companies falling, and oil industry falling, was the Enron. If they had investment platforms that basically didn't crash, I mean, that were set up where they would not lose money, may not gain any money during that period of time, they could have rode those crises, unexpected crisis through. But a lot of people weren't expecting that. I know I wasn't. when tech, when when the tech, my tech world, because remember I was a techie, and I was living that high life. When the tech world took a dive, I took a dive too because my money was invested in it. But I didn't know what I know now. Let's again that magic wand. Please, let's do that magic wand so we can all go back in time. But I'm I we learn from experience, and what I try to do, and now that I'm in this particular career, is to educate others from the experiences that I've had in my past, as well as all the knowledge that I've gotten through doing what I do. So I don't know if anyone has, if we have any uh, people on the call that have questions, but I am available to answer those questions. Um, that and really advise you on the financial aspect of it. The different platforms that you can use to build your wealth and get you ready for retirement.
So, for those of you who are either watching this live on YouTube or Facebook or are listening to the podcast, I would really, really like for you to do me a favor, and that is to take down this phone number. I'm just going to give you Vickie's cell phone number so that you can put it up on your refrigerator because when you have a question or you really need to talk to her, you don't want to be thinking now, how do I find that nice lady who could talk to me about insurance or financial planning? You don't want to be scrambling around looking for it and trying to figure out what her name was. So let me give it to you. Write it down right now. And that is 713-444-3269. Write it down and remind yourself to look for it on the refrigerator. That's the best place. That's where I don't lose things. If I really want to remember somebody, I'll put it on the refrigerator. Put a little magnet on top of it.
That's a
Because
great way.
don't wait until you have an unexpected issue. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a horrible problem like when I fell and broke my arm, or maybe a car crash. It could be that something warned you. Maybe your intuition, maybe a friend or a neighbor had something happen and you think to yourself, now's the time. I really need to call Vickie Owens right now and schedule an appointment. She's not, going to hurt you. She won't bite you. She's not going to try to talk you into something you don't need. She's there for you. She's a good friend. And I highly recommend that you call her just to have a conversation about Medicare, about some benefits that you might not even know are available to you. And and building your wealth. That's a big one. Nobody wants to be poor in their golden age.
No.
You want to live like the Golden Girls in that gorgeous home, right?
Yes. Yeah. Nobody. I mean, that's it. The one thing that I have, I have a passion for, and that's why I wanted to talk about this, is making sure that people who are in the age at the age, and you might not think that. you're able to do so, but you'd be amazed at what you, if you put your mind towards something, what you're able to do.
I agree.
We scrap through, a lot of times we scrap through, and we, if it's something that we really really want, then we'll make sacrifices to be able
Amen.
to
There
get
you
that.
go.
So you really should start thinking at for your retirement, planning your retirement, that should be a priority. That I'm going to put away so much, so my retirement, when I get ready to retire at that particular time, I'm going to have a nice little nest egg, and
There
I
you
won't have to
go.
worry about anything.
You
And the
don't
other,
want to have to worry.
don't have to worry. And the other thing about it is that you also want to leave something, build wealth where you can actually leave a legacy for your kids, your kids and your grandkids. So just something to think about. Something to think about. Uh,
Yes. Well, thank you for joining us today, and we're so happy that you're alive and you're safe. Thank you for pulling over your car and talking with us. That tells you what a great technology and how far technology has come, where
yes,
you can
yes,
tap into the internet on your phone on the side of the road.
yes, 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 yes. I like I said, I'm calmed down a little. I'm a little better off than I was a few, when it first happened. But the unexpected life happens,
There you
and
go.
today was a truly living example.
Yes.
Just like living
Amen.
example.
There you
Okay,
go. All right,
all right
until
then.
next week, we will see you again. And if you have any questions or you want to get a hold of Vickie, down below, every video and the podcast is all the links of things that we talked about today. So please get a hold of Vickie sooner rather than later. Don't wait.
Okay.
Bye for
Bye bye.
now.
Bye bye.